we're just feeling again the need to try and break away from this programmed version of reality, this way of being and of living that we've all been conditioned into and programmed into. I mean, we're in a supermarket car park at the moment, and all I can feel at the moment is like, I'm not happy in this way of living at all. You know, it just feels like slavery to me. All of this feels like slavery. The slavery in the jobs, the slavery to all the addictive foods and substances in the supermarkets. You know, and nobody looks well. Most people are carrying extra weight. People don't look well in their faces, you know, their energy, their vitality. And I do feel like there's a lot happening atmospherically here. You know, I don't know whether it's stuff that they're spraying or whether it's to do with the Wi-Fi signals or whatever it is, but I feel like there's a lot going on here that's making us all ill as well.
There's a lot more control going on in England, isn't there?
Yeah, England feels worse.
I mean, we've just spent a month out of the country,
Yeah.
you know, so we know the
in
difference
France,
between.
So it's feeling the difference. I mean, there's a lot of control in France as well, but it's not as bad, you know, like England. Well, the UK is a very small country with a lot of people in it, and I feel like it's driving everybody loopy, really. There's too many people, there's too many buildings, there's not enough nature, there's not enough balance. But we were just talking before Riki decided to try and do a video about, like, I'd gone to an archaeology museum with my mum a while ago when we were in Bulgaria, and I really related to the stuff like the Stone Age stuff. But as soon as it hit the Bronze Age and the coins came in, you know, and the weapons came in, it just left me cold from there on. You know, all the stuff with Rome and all of these things. I didn't feel resonance with that. I felt resonance with like the Stone Age stuff when people were still living in nature. They hadn't brought in as much of the control and the manipulation. You know, like, yeah, there was quite an animal way of living, you know, like whoever was stronger would probably be the more dominant. But it's a different thing when money comes in, when coins come in, when the weapons come in, because when all of that comes in, the manipulation
Corruption
also comes in. Yeah.
Corruption, this is what's going on, isn't
And
it? We're being
conning,
pulled.
like it's dishonourable, you know, like it feels dishonourable to me, like how things went from the Bronze Age onwards, really. And I want to be aligned with nature. I want to be aligned with the plants. I want to be aligned with the animals, and I want to be aligned with other human beings who feel in a similar way. Because I am just finding increasingly the so-called modern world, this normal version of reality, is leaving me cold. It has nothing that I want. I do not want it. I am not happy within this. I feel smothered by it. It frustrates me.
It's suffocating, yeah.
You know, like we've got rules and regulations all over the place, and I don't feel any freedom within this version of reality. All I see is like my fellow human beings, my brothers and sisters, you know, using all sorts of substances and distractions to try and make this reality feel okay to them, to try and make them feel that they're comfortable with this version of reality, that they're comfortable with being in a servitude sort of state. They're serving this system, they're a cog in the machine, they're a consumer. And I feel very sad about all of these things, because every single person that I'm laying my eyes on in this car park going into the shop and stuff is a beautiful soul that has beautiful things to bring onto this planet. but they've been conditioned into this. They've been conditioned into this reality, and hardly anybody is actually being able to live and bring their talents and their joy and the truth that they want to bring here and connect at that level. You know, most people, like, the happiest they get is when they come out of frigging Morrison's with their pizza and their bottles of beer, because, you know, they're going to go home, they're going to eat something nice, it's going to numb them out, they're going to get a buzz off the beer, and they're going to feel a little bit better for a while.
About the things that aren't happy in the life.
Until they wake up tomorrow morning and they're a good little boy or girl and they go to work as they're meant to, you know, and they do what they're told to do for however many hours to earn however much it is.
It's
to
about
pay
time.
for the roof over their head, to pay for their car, to pay for the clothes, to pay for their next pizza and beer, to try and make them believe that that's how they want to live. Sorry, go on.
Just going to say, it's about time we stood up for truth, really. You know.
The thing is, I don't know how many people have ears to hear.
No, but
to be honest,
I mean, for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm just not feeling like I can carry on living in this way. You know, like, we've been out on foot before. We've been travelling on foot, trying to be out in nature more, and I need to be doing that because that feels true to me. And none of this does. It hasn't got anything that I want.
No, I pretty much feel the same, really. And the only things really tying me to this normal society and system is the idea of being able to pick up an electric guitar and play, you know. And I think if I walk away from all of this, I've just got to accept that I'll have to wait until I bump into those people, until I bump into other musicians to be able to play an electric guitar, you know. But it's what are we holding on to, you know. I've been holding on to things that this world can supposedly bring, but I don't feel my soul and my spirit.
I want to wake up, I want to smell fresh air, I want to be vital, I want to be here, I want to be present, I want to be in my power, I want to feel the earth beneath my feet, I want to feel that I'm connected with these things, because this life is dead. This is fucking zombie world.
It's dead, isn't it? Yeah. We're talking beyond spirituality. We're talking being real, you know, being what is it to be a real, alive human on this planet, you know, because
a sentient, sensitive, aware, clear being.
Because this life is just gone, you know, in a blink of an eye, and it's like there comes a time where the soul is calling us so deeply.
It's rattling in its cage.
Yeah, and the animals rattling its cage, that's it, yeah. And it's like there will be those of us who want to walk a different path, you know, and will, because they'll break free from the control within themselves and control the external control as well, you know, obviously.
I want true connection with other human beings. I want to be able to look them in the eyes. I want to be able to hear their stories. I want to be able to share true space with them with an open heart and with an open mind. I don't want to be in a situation where all those people are just numbed out on all these foods, are numbed out on just watching YouTube videos all the time or TV.
Because I think that there is a bit of a point that if this stuff does go too far, then, you know, obviously humans are already quite disconnected from themselves, and you know, things are getting a bit, the spirit seems to be getting less potent within people, and if that goes too far, obviously, and then we're doing the whole transhumanism thing where we're roboticizing ourselves, you know, somebody has to walk a different path, you know.
It's all down to choice, isn't it? Ultimately, you know, so many people are just going to be herded into this brave new world. But I think, you know, there's some of us that are wanting to walk completely the opposite frigging way.
And I think that's good, because diversity is how human race is going to survive. And if all of us jump on this bandwagon and say, oh yeah, let's be chipped, let's be, part of this controlled reality,
Internet of Things.
The Internet of Things and all of this stuff, then, if it all goes wrong for everyone, there's going to be nobody alive who's aware, and I want to be the one who's aware anyway, I want to breathe the fresh air, I want to feel alive. I mean, even just having stagnant air in this van, I can feel that's making me in a sort of woozy sleep. As soon as that fresh air comes in, as soon as your body's pumping more, you're living and you're breathing deeper, and your muscles are moving, and because life is flowing, we need the flow in life. Stagnation is not.
I want to be connected to
not truth.
I really want to be connected to truth.
There's another world outside of this reality which is beautiful and real. No fairy world. It's fucking real.
The trees are amazing. Like even here, there are some mature trees around here. The ones that have been allowed to stay here, that weren't in the way of where they wanted to put the car park, of course. But those trees have got their roots deep into the earth. They're connected to each other. They're connected to the earth energies. The birds, they're aware of what is going on properly around them. And I want to be tapped in to what's real again. Like this Toy Town shit isn't cutting
it's not real, is it?
And I don't mean disrespect to anybody else that's doing this, but like I cannot be doing this, because it's getting where I can tolerate it less and less. I'm not willing to live switched off, disconnected, bloody round and round and round and round bloody world. I don't want that kind of life. So if anybody else is resonating with this, get in touch, because I want bloody brothers and sisters who are trying to walk and be alive, be alive and be vibrant.
Hopefully we'll feel a bit more alive and vibrant soon. We've been stagnating for the last couple of years, but hopefully we get out again. There'll be a bit more of that flow, and it's so powerful when you get into that state, and it's inspiring for others. There's so much beauty to this life and this earth, and I've been determined to sort of live a very what's the word I use about a certain life, a life that's fulfilled. Fulfilled. There's another word I use, but a fulfilled life. An extraordinary life. That's the word I like to say.
I want to be drinking from fucking mountain streams and not from a plastic bloody bottle.
I think we're going to walk away and just say, bugger this. Like I'm going into the truth, the real reality. Because this isn't real. We came from nature. Our ancestors, from Africa, from all the different wherever we were, we lived epic lives. Absolutely amazing.
We lived with nature. We lived as part of it. Instead of this stupid life where we've cut ourselves off from nature as much as possible. We'd recently been realising the power in wild foods. But since we've got back to England, the places that we've been, it's not actually been that easy to forage, to find the wild foods that we were eating a fair bit of in France. I mean, it's just like the locations. I know they're there, of course, but we're going to have to try a lot harder to find some of the wild foods to eat again, like space.
It's partly being in a van, though. I mean, when we're out on foot, these things come up all the time, obviously, which is what we'd have been doing. We'd have been grabbing the food that came up, fresh right here and now, and we found it totally changed the way we felt. I mean, there's other videos on that, but it's absolutely powerful. There's a lot more in the wild foods than we realise, and when we're genetically modifying our foods, and when we are harvesting stuff for profit, we don't understand the implications on a deeper level of that, and we don't understand what that does to our system and how we feel and what we experience in the world. There's powerful eating from the earth again, eating pure food from the earth is very powerful. There's a beautiful world outside of this normal reality that we have all been living in, and I'm determined to go and live it.
I think we should wind up there because I'm sick of sitting in this bloody car park. I want to get out into some nature. This car park's making me sick.
There you go. That's a nice light and bubbly video from us.